Well, speaking of fuck yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing now.
Oh,
Hell yeah, brother.
so I got
What have you got?
this is Sailor Jerry rum and Canada Dry. So it's not
nice.
quite a rum and coke, but it's like a rum and ginger ale.
Yeah, that's a dark and stormy, I believe, is what they refer to that as.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the one.
it's real fucking strong though. I just eyeballed it. I literally just filled up the can like into this, and then I just dumped rum into
That's what I like to
fill
see.
it up.
It's good pace.
Oh
I like
god,
it.
it's strong.
And Sailor Jerry's is your choice. That's your go-to, right?
It's pretty good. Sailor Jerry is like is the first like strong alcohol that I really enjoyed, and so it's got a special place in my heart. Though I do like Bacardi, Kraken is good. I'm a spiced rum connoisseur.
Yeah. Kraken's nice. I do like Kraken.
There's one that's called like Zacapa is really good, but it's also expensive. It's a bendy one. But anyway.
I would bust out something, but unfortunately I have to drive later, so I don't want to pour myself something too strong.
Yeah.
So I got myself a Christmas themed Diet Coke.
Oh, Santa's still hanging around even though it's February. I don't know why I'm doing that accent, but there we go.
It's what happens when you buy the 32 can flats from Costco.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Hey man, I buy Liquid Death by the case, and I buy multiple cases, and so running out of drinks is like the worst for me. I'm like, oh, what am I gonna fucking do?
We've been doing that at the Spike Feeder studio with Aussie lemonade flavored Monster, because it's Elliot's like drink of choice whenever he has to come film. So we have just an entire case of them just ready to go.
Awesome.
Fun fact, he loves them so much. There's like an angry like little clownfish on the can, and he got a tattoo of it.
Oh wow.
He loved it so much that he got the clownfish tattooed on his leg.
As a dedication. Yeah.
We kept telling him that he should like send a message to Monster, be like, hey, look what I did, and maybe they send him some free stuff.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Maybe.
Nice. These cans remind me of Liquid Death just because of the sheer size of the size of them.
Tall boys.
That's a tall boy.
Tall boys, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I drink so much of the Liquid Death, like these little guys are like puny. It's like little puny wimpy cans.
Yeah.
I do love Canada Dry though. That's some good stuff.
It's good. Canada Dry, Seagram's is okay. Yeah, Canada Dry is probably
I like
my go-to one.
Yeah, either Canada Dry or Schweppes. Schweppes is a good one.
Oh, yeah,
Schweppes is pretty good. You can find it in the States, but it's a little bit harder, I think. At least maybe regionally, but here in Portland, it's mostly like Canada Dry or like the other brands, I guess. We only get the Canada Dry one, so.
Here's a question for you North American folk. Do you like root beer? Because I don't like root beer.
I do.
There are very few soft drinks that I don't enjoy.
Same.
Yeah, root beer's not one of them. I like root beer.
I very much enjoy root beer. I do have preferences on the root beer too, but I'm not too picky. Like you have your Barks and your Dads, and your A&W is probably the one that I go to the most. Yeah. But if I have to, I can get a Barks or a Dads. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. I have the least amount of like hard feelings about sodas in my family. So my entire family loves to like poke fun. They're like, "Oh, you like root beer?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And they're like, "Oh, you like Dr. Pepper too, don't you, you little weirdo?" And I'm like,
"Oh yeah, I like Dr. Pepper.
It's great."
It's all right.
I do like it. I just don't. Yeah, I can't do root beer. I don't know. It's like it just feels like it's too medicinal for me. Just
that's something that I've heard. Japan. It might be a regional thing. Yeah.
I heard people in Japan don't like it because it's like tastes like medicine for them.
Yeah. There's like a type of medicine that root beer tastes like, and like give me that root beer, honestly. Or give me that medicine rather.
Yeah, kind of same. I would take that. Same though. Because like
there's also like. Or sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the best kind of root beer is like you can get these like the almost like I'd call them like hipster kinds that come in like the glass bottles instead, and they're all these weird brands. There's like the Jones brands, there's a whole bunch of other ones too, and I like the ones that are labeled as sarsaparilla. Get the sarsaparilla. That shit is banging.
Authentic.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I like Boylan. Boylan is like one of those one of those like trendy hipster glass bottle brands. They have an amazing cream soda. Big fan.
Cream soda. I like that.
Good. They have a great like grape soda too. Boylan's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. There's I do want to say though, I don't know if this is an outside of Canada thing because I've never actually looked into it, but did you guys have the medication when you were a kid that tastes like bananas? It's like an antibiotic for like ear infections or something.
That sounds close.
Maybe.
That sounds right.
It's the like candy banana flavor. It doesn't taste like current bananas. That was my favorite stuff of all time. I obviously it was bad because I had like an ear infection or whatever it was for. I forget what it was, but yeah, that banana medicine is like, it hits. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I had a similar one. I had a similar one in the UK called Calpol, which was really, really nice. Used to have like a little spoon of it, and used to have the one spoon. But I used to like, oh, can I have another one of those? No, you can't. No, you can't have another one of those. But yeah, it's one of those ones that brings your temperature down.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was nice.
Pain relief and paracetamol.
Yeah, it was just really sweet, and I love sweet things to my detriment. But there you go.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
I used to. I've like cooled down on sweet stuff quite a bit actually as I've gotten older. That's why I've really like. I really enjoy like the Liquid Death a lot.
Yeah,
because it's just a little subtle. Yeah,
that's what my taste buds need to do. They need to just say, right, that's enough Dr Pepper full fat. That's enough Coke full fat. You don't like it anymore. You know, that's what my taste. Because I still get that hit from those sorts of drinks, unfortunately, which is bad for me. I know, but there we go. Oh, my dog wants to go out.
Yeah,
brilliant. Bear with me.
I was gonna say I've done the same thing with Coke and stuff. Like I do like sweet things quite a bit. I'm kind of in Az's boat as well. I went without drinking like any soda for like a few years, and I just like kind of stopped missing it. And then one of my friends is a big Diet Coke drinker, and so just every time I've been over to their house, I have a Diet Coke, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. So I started drinking it.
Yeah, that's a good way to get off it, though, isn't it? I guess. Like it's like you might have mentioned this while I stepped away, but the sugarless alternatives are a good way to sort of get off of it. Like Pepsi Max.
Most of them are fine. Like they're like different.
I can't stand them. Yeah. I actually really hate the way they taste. I don't know. It's just something about the thing. I don't know why. I hate it.
No, like they like are different, and like Coke Zero is the better version of Diet Coke. Like just factually, it tastes more like Coke. But they like can't discontinue Diet Coke because there are people that are so completely addicted to it that if they did, there would be riots in the streets. So they're like, this is like objectively the worst like option for sugar-free, but it has a distinct flavor, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, don't they? They're like, oh, you're better off drinking the full fat version, instead. But there's an argument to be said about everything, really. Full fat is loads of sugar, though, isn't it? So,
yeah. Well, it's like 180 or 200 calories for a can. It's like, okay, how about zero?
How about zero? Yeah. Pick your poison, but there we go.
Yeah,
it's all acid at the end of the day. But I've been recording this. I've been recording this entire time, so we can just leave this in because.
It's just how it's always been.
This is how it's always been. But
a fitting intro to the episode. Yeah. Absolutely nothing to do with anything.
Literally it. Yeah.
Talk about fucking medicine and like sodas.
Yeah.
What we're here for, hard-hitting journalism.
Do you like root beer? Yeah, I like it. Well, I don't. Brilliant. Riveting stuff. Live Legends podcast.
Good discussion.
Good discussion. But yeah, this is... if you've seen the title, I don't know what the title is going to be yet. I've made a thumbnail. I don't know whether I'm going to use it or not. But I've titled it Last Ditch Episode. And like...
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, as in sort of last ditch episode, you got the art there. I had to Google to try and find the art from that artist, though. It's one that I don't think I don't think we've seen too much art from that person in Fab since.
I can look to see. I still have it. I used to compile all of the art for Flesh and Blood when I was covering it.
Yeah,
quite a lot. So I have a folder just full of the first, every set up till Dusk Till Dawn, probably. Did you find the art, by the way?
So the thing I used for the thumbnail was basically a print that they did, which was the highest res image I could find was a print that was advertised. So I had to crop that and use that, but I couldn't find any other like JPEGs or PNG files for it because it was quite a rare one.
What set was last? Was it WTR?
Welcome to Wraith.
Yeah, first one. Yeah.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah.
What was the art?
And just so that we're not, just so that it's not like we're trying to gank the image. Shout out Richard L. Rassi for the Last Ditch Effort art. I actually really like Last Ditch Effort as a card. I played it in the first UPF deck that I ever made, which I think I played. I think I played it with you guys, right? It was Data Doll.
There's a video of it,
and
we made a video of it. It was my idea was to do like hyper turbo aggressive self mill with Data Doll, and then have Last Ditch Effort with some of the items that allow you to put an attack action on the bottom of your deck or something.
Cognition nodes.
Cognition node. That's the one. Yeah, that was the old UPF rule set as well, when you had classic constructed deck building rules. So you could play 3 of everything. The deck became better when you could use Blitz, but I don't know if that means it's good.
Wow. Back in the old times. Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that video is still out there. So I can't remember what heroes we were all playing, but you were definitely playing Data Doll. I think Steven might have been playing, DM Armada was playing the original KO. Kel, you were playing Cavdane because you're a potion. Potion seller.
I was playing Cavdane. Yeah.
Potion seller. Yeah, that's it. And then I can't remember.
Potion seller.
I think I was playing Trapezalia, maybe. I think back then.
I require your strongest potion.
I think it was Trapezalia before traps were even
before Riptide. Yeah, literally.
Before Riptide.
3 crew traps, and that was it. Brilliant.
That's when you have to play the traps from your arsenal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's so bad.
Before the errata.
So bad. Yeah. And like one of the best interactions was like, I play Take Cover, which is a D-React, which reloads a card into your arsenal, and then you play the trap from arsenal. Brilliant.
Now that we're like talking about it, I think it's just hilarious. And it kind of exemplifies all of us, because like I'm playing some jank-ass Cavdane potion thing, Bill's playing Data Doll, Ass is playing traps, and then Steven's like, yeah, I'm playing Kano. Like, bring it.
It was Kano too. Because he buffed a chain lightning on turn 1 or something and hit us all for 9. And it's like, okay.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that was it.
I'll play a time snap potion past your best turn.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Shout out DM Armada. What a homie.
Yeah.
Did I kill myself? Wait.
100%.
I might have killed myself with a crazy brew. I know I did that in one episode. I don't know if that was the episode, but I definitely killed myself with a crazy brew at some point.
It might have been that one. Yeah, it might have been that one.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, we did a few of those, and they're out there on the internet to still see. So they're on I think everyone's channel apart from Spike Feeders.
Still on mine. Yeah. I for people who don't know, I playlist all of my videos. So every video I upload goes in a playlist. So all my Flesh and Blood videos are up in a playlist. So if you want to go scroll through all 500 videos I have on my channel of Flesh and Blood, it's there.
Yeah.
You can probably just search like UPF.
I mean,
then our names.
It was never a big thing. We were just trying to, shine more light on it at the time, which is why I said, to everybody, you can put these videos on your channel. I edited them all and stuff, and then I was just like, put them on your channel because you've got more reach, because we just wanted to show how much fun it was to play that format. But unfortunately, it's just not. There's just better ways to play card games with other people, it seems, than try and play Flesh and Blood multiplayer.
Okay, I'm looking it up, and I do have a deck tech for this potion deck. Flesh and Blood multiplayer deck tech potion seller Cavdane. It's got 1.3k views. It's not that bad. Trying to find the actual video though. There's a bunch of them. Anyway.
Well, I mean, this is a really, really loose episode anyway, because we haven't even told people what's going on here, but you probably would have figured it out anyway. So, so yeah. Obviously, the episode's called Last Ditch Effort. Well, welcome back to Living Legends podcast. This is going to be the last episode that you'll ever see from the Living Legends podcast.
Probably, yeah,
probably. For a myriad of different. We'll just say we're going on hiatus and see what happens in the future. Because there's a myriad of different reasons as to why. But ultimately, like,
I actually find it really funny how we came to this decision because it happened like in the span of like 10 minutes, and I wasn't even part of the conversation at first. Like,
yeah.
Like I can't remember. You like typed something. No, I said I can't make it the week because I was like, I couldn't make it for whatever reason. I don't remember why. And then Az was just like, he was just like, yeah, I got these reasons or whatever. Do you want to just go on hiatus? And then Bill was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. That's kind of how it happened.
Yeah, I mean,
sort of. That's like downplaying it a little bit because I feel like it's the writing's been on the wall a little bit, but I thought it was kind of funny.
It was quite funny, yeah, and I think it was coming for a while. I think just because people that listen to us or have listened to us for so long know that we rarely missed an episode, and if someone was not there to do it, like AKA you was not there, for instance, or Bill was not there, for instance, normally I would try and I think bar maybe. I remember you did a Brian Gottlieb episode when I was not there because I was pissed the night before. I went to a metal gig the night before, and then I just couldn't make it. But yeah, to a certain degree, what I was getting at there is that every single week we've released an episode, pretty much, until recently, towards the back end of last year, when it started to drop off a little bit. And that's just as a result of just life in general. People just doing different things and exploring different things and stuff that's not fab related, just sort of getting in the way of that.
I mean, I've been pretty vocal about, my situation with Flesh and Blood, but I think I'm not the only one here on the podcast who just has been not engaging with it very much recently. I mean, for my own channel, for Red Zone Rogue, I haven't uploaded a Flesh and Blood video in like half a year. Like it's been like 6 months, I think. Yeah. Pretty close to that at this point in time. But I know I'm not the only one here that's kind of like in that situation. I'm going to put words into your mouth yet. But it's, I was still willing to chat. Because I just like hanging out and chatting with you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, and this is by the way, this isn't a thing where like, we hate each other now, or we're like breaking up, and it's like, screw you guys, I'm going solo kind of thing. It's like we just kind of realized all at once, we're just like, yeah, do we just kind of want to go on hiatus for a while? And I was just like, yeah. It just made a lot of sense, and I think Bill said this. Once again, don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think you said this last time in a previous episode, but. You just haven't been playing Flesh and Blood much lately, or engaging with it lately, or something to that degree. And I'm like, I haven't actually played Flesh and Blood in a long time, to be honest.
Yeah. Like I have nothing against the game. Like it is not for a reason that because like I've done this sort of waxing and waning interest in games throughout my life, because I think that's just a pretty natural thing to have happen.
We all have,
when you have hobbies. Yeah. So like this happened to me with Magic for a while, and it was actually for a different like more negative reason to be like completely open and transparent. I went on a hiatus from playing Magic because I completely disagreed with what Wizards of the Coast was doing with the game itself. And I think I've gone on record saying that previously. And I have no issue with criticizing what they do, even when I like am part of a Magic channel that is an ambassador for the game. I do like the game, but I can disagree with some of the things that they do, and I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But that isn't the case with Flesh and Blood. I actually really like the stuff that they're doing, to be to be honest about it. Like there are things, sure, that aren't great, but I think that by and large, I think the game is good. It's headed in a pretty decent direction. There are growing pains. It is still a young game.
Yep.
But yeah, by and large, I don't have any issues with the game itself. It is mostly just that I have had my time sort of taken up more by the Magic the Gathering part of my life. Being able to go out to actual events is just sort of not as easy as it was, like, as weird as it is, like during the pandemic, I had just more time in general. I didn't have week to week responsibilities. So it's like, okay, yeah, cool. I'll go to, an armory on Sunday, an armory on Monday. I think there was also armories on Thursdays.
Nice.
It's like, yeah, I don't have plans with other people. So like, that's what I'll do. But now like my life has just become a lot more full. I have like just things to do after work. Most of the days of the week, I've been trying to get out more frequently and continue climbing, just as like a personal form of activity. So it's just, sometimes there has to be things that drop off, and it's not, again, because I don't like Flesh and Blood. I just like don't have really the time for it. And I also kind of don't have the want to make time for it.
Yeah.
Just because that's just how it is. My interest has personally waned, but it's not like for any really negative reason.
Yeah.
I still have all my cards. I haven't sold out of anything. I got my shout out to LSS. I still have my content creator promos that I'm intending to give out to people. I have 2 Heart of Fyendals. I have all of the promos that they've ever given us. Like, nice. There's no bad blood here. I want to make that like really, really clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not the same. I do have,
but that's also fun.
Critiques.
Yeah.
As someone who started Flesh and Blood from the start, I see the game and I see LSS doing things that I personally don't agree with. I don't like how they're trending the game to be more expensive in every way. The starter decks are more expensive. They bundle all the Blitz decks to be a more expensive product. And with this new set, there's like the D-React that's like $80 now or something, which is absurd.
Yeah,
you need 3 of. And then the other games that I play, that 3 of that card is literally a full competitive deck in the other games, and it's just like, it's just trending in ways that I don't personally agree with. I still like the game. Also, there's even other stuff too, recent things that have popped up that I've felt pretty strongly about for a long time now that I haven't really talked about. I just don't like how some of the rulings are done in competitive Flesh and Blood. I think it favors people who would like to. You can use the words however you want. Angle shoot, card shark, whatever. Play the rules to their advantage. And
that's some hot news off the press as well. That this week.
I didn't hear about it, but I heard about it.
The thing is, it's not the first time.
No,
and it's like technically a legal play in the way the rules of the Flesh and Blood is written. And that's what I'm getting at. I don't like that it's a legal play.
No.
There's just a lot of things that I personally disagree with. And it's just like, that's not why, but it's like, that's like hampered my enjoyment over the last like year and a half, basically starting with starting with Dusk Till Dawn, I would say, because I had a pretty terrible case opening or like multiple case opening experience with that. And it just kind of like, went down. I just lost interest. I hadn't been enjoying it as much. And at the end of the day, what this all rolls up into for me personally is just Like, I'm not enjoying it as much. And that's just kind of is what it is. Yeah. And I figured like personally taking a break from it would help reset my perspective and recharge things. But as it is now, I'm just like, yeah, I'm still technically on that break, and I still might eventually do Flesh and Blood content again. I'm not the kind of person to sell out. I don't play Magic anymore, really, but I've never sold out of that game either. I still have a disgusting Magic collection.
Yep.
I'm that kind of person. So maybe I come back to it, but there's a lot of things for me. It's like this compounding things over and over on top of each other. It's just like not one big thing. It's just like little thing here and there. Decks are expensive. I don't like the rulings. I don't like the box opening experience right now. I don't like. There's like a bunch of little stuff that kind of add up.
Yeah.
And it's just at the end of the day, I play a lot of games. I cover a lot of card games. I now work with Bushiroad and Cygames, and I've been doing casting for Grand Archive. I did casting for 2 different other card games for the World Championships last year, but nothing related to Flesh and Blood. And so it's just kind of all these things where it's like, yeah. So that's my thing. But I will say that I was still down to chat with these guys every week, even about Flesh and Blood. Even if I haven't been playing it, really. And by really, I mean I think actually the last time I played was in Az's league, the last league. Yeah. Not this one, but the one before. I think that's literally the last time I played Flesh and Blood.
League number 2.
It was probably like a 2-hour match or something against some shit.
Yeah. You had some funny grindy matchups in that league. That was just typical that you got those ones. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's more of a time restraint thing, really. Like none of us got to do a Hunted pre-release, did we?
Nope.
No. Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, I haven't played
Hunted yet.
No, exactly.
I haven't opened up a pack. Here's the funniest thing. Here, this small tangent. I'm gonna grab this. I do have a box of Hunted here, but the funny part is I bought this box for my patrons because on my Patreon I have a couple different tiers, and one of the tiers is you get Flesh and Blood packs, and I like to keep up to date with that kind of stuff. So I bought a box of the Hunted just to give to my patrons and not for myself. And I joked about that when this came in with my partner Robin. I'm like, hey, Flesh and Blood cards. I'm not even opening any of these. These all go to the patrons. Yeah. So there's still a couple left. I'll be honest, most of the patrons for Flesh and Blood have left a long time ago. And I got a lot of people like left my channel who were like the Flesh and Blood only people a while ago. So I don't even know if there's much interest on my channel for Flesh and Blood as it is. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
I thought that was funny.
No, it's always good to just chuck it in there when you can, just make sure all the thoughts are out there. But yeah, for me, it's more of a time thing and a value thing. Like when I think of what our podcast is, yeah, it's fun because it's just us 3 talking crap most of the time. But there's only so long that I think that can go on for. When we're not actively engaging with the game, maybe to the extent that other podcasts might be. So obviously our audience is, just people that enjoy our chat. But for me, it's like, if I'm not evaluating the cards, if I'm not really interested in a set that's come out, I don't feel like we shouldn't really be forcing ourselves to speak about it. And I can point people in the direction of many other podcasts. When obviously this ends, I can point people in the direction of loads of other podcasts. I made a list here, and I'm sure we can maybe throw out some others if I've forgotten any, as to other podcasts that you could listen to maybe get more value from, whether that's just sort of general bromance like we have. There's a couple of podcasts like that. Interviews and stuff with community guests. There's a lot of podcasts that do that. Strategy and improvement podcasts, and then diversity and inclusion podcasts as well, all of which are good alternatives you can go and listen to when obviously we kick the can here. But yeah, for me it's just more of a time thing. And also I've now stumbled across a career defining opportunity. So I now work for a company called Steam Forged Games. So this could be a bit of a conflict of interest with my own content as well, because obviously I do Flesh and Blood content, but I'm working for a different company, etc. Now they've said that I can pretty much do what I want anyway, because it's my own channel and it's not related to them in any way. But ultimately I do want to share the Steam Forged games and all their lines and ranges with the audience that I've built personally as well. So the Flesh and Blood content on my side of things, since I messaged you guys in the chat, I think my sentiments have changed a little bit. I'm still going to carry on with the League That Means Nothing, because that's something that I just edit. I don't actually play in that. I just edit the games and create a space for people to enjoy. So I'm still going to carry that on. And then if I do continue to go to events, I'm still going to be going to London just because it's down the road from me. Why not? Loads of people are going. Loads of people will go, and I know, and just going to have a fun time. That was a fun thing about Prague. I went to Prague and I didn't touch a single card. I was just there for the beers and the people that I'd met along the way. As cliche as that sounds, that's the whole reason I've enjoyed this community for so long, is because I've met people like you guys and everybody else along the way, and we've had some sick times as well. Like we could probably list a few sick times that we've had as a result of meeting each other or meeting other people that's come as a result of this game. So I'm not going to step away from it entirely, and I'm still going to have the League That Means Nothing for sure on Go Again Gaming. That is still going to continue because it's just a nice thing to edit and sort of chill out to and do a few gameplay videos, nice and easy. I might even play in those leagues when I can going forward, because that might be the time where I can dedicate some time to playing, organising a game once a week. But for me, it is just a time constraint, and now my focus is in my professional career, which is now related to a different game studio. That's my dilemma right now. But yeah, it's funny as well, because the League That Means Nothing has saw Go Again Gaming's all the green arrows and the stats on YouTube go up, and the monetization is good, like better than it's ever been, albeit it's still not much. All the green arrows are going up because the league stuff has been good. It's consistent CC content. But again, also, I'm rambling now. I have spent so much time on those league videos. Like, I have no free time at all, because the amount of videos that I've been putting out on there just means I have no life. And sometimes what you want to do when you get home from work or finish a working day is play a video game or sit on the sofa with your partner and watch fucking Love Island or something crap like that. So yeah, it's more of a time thing for me. I love the game, and of course, whenever this is another great thing about Flesh and Blood, is that you can disengage for a while if you're class driven. So I'm a ranger player, which means that I don't care about the hunted. There's nothing in there for me. What about the next set? Is there a ranger in it? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll pick up a play set of each of those ranger cards then, and I can engage with it again then, because I love Azalea or ranger in general. That's a good thing going for Flesh and Blood. So if you do have these dips in and out of your game, you can come back into it at a time that's suitable to you, because you already have a class pool that you've built your collection on or your fandom on, which is a good thing as well, I guess. That's something that we've always said anyway, isn't it? Class-driven is a pro and a con to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is for sure.
Yeah.
It can be tough for, the people such as yourself. There are plenty of people that were in the Azalea cult and really, really invested in specifically Ranger, specifically sub-specifically Azalea.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a long time until she got any amount of support. Until pretty recently, there was a long patch where Ninja got no support. It was released in Welcome to Wraith. It got some updated cards in Crucible, and then it was just nothing for 2 or 3 sets. And now Ninja, we can't imagine a state of the game without a Ninja that is completely taking down everything.
Yeah.
I remember being very interested in learning how to play Turtle Katsu and stuff like that, because it was fun to be able to look at some of these less represented heroes and put some effort into trying to make them work. But yeah, so it can be difficult when you go a few sets too long without seeing something. It can make you feel and I think this is a normal feeling. It can make you feel a little bit slighted to be well, this is the way that I want to interact with this game, and it's not panning out. Elliot, one of the reasons that he stopped playing Flesh and Blood, and like Kel said, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but this is basically what happened. We were playing a lot of Blitz, and he liked specifically Dash, Viserai, Ira, and Dromai. Those were the 4 heroes that he loved the most. One by one, they just living legended. And so it's okay, I can't play this hero anymore. Okay, I can't play this hero anymore. Well, maybe I can play Dash. Oh, she's about to get living legended. That's cool. It does, as many times as I've said, it like the living legend system is fine. There is still like a real tangible effect on the people that pour themselves into a hero in a specific format too, and just like all of a sudden you can't play your hero, and it does feel bad. It is part of the game, but yeah,
it's a real like double whammy too, because Flesh and Blood is somewhat unique in this regard because yes, it has the living legend system, but everything is also like class restricted as well. And a lot of other character-based trading card games, and there's a lot of them now. I'm going to use one that I cover quite often, Grand Archive. Grand Archive is another class-based game. It is another, they call them champion-based game. However, in that game, you can mix and match any champion with any element, and you can use class cards in any other champion. So say you're playing Lorraine. Lorraine is a warrior. You can use mage cards in your warrior deck. You just don't get the class bonus. Some cards have a class bonus that'll be like warrior bonus or whatever. So that game has a lot more flexibility, and you can still attach to the characters. And that game is one of the games where, yes, people are really, really into the characters, and it's a very character-driven thing. When I went to the first big event, people were genuinely very upset that the Merlin playmat sold out because they just wanted the Merlin playmat. And I was like, this is a really good sign for the game because people are passionate about the characters. But I think the way Flesh and Blood does it's quite restrictive, and it leads to those situations where you can be like pretty bummed if your class doesn't get you support, and or if your character hits living legend and now you're just like, well, I ain't got nothing to play. So I do think it is one of those things. And in fact, I was thinking about this a lot recently. I recently in the Rogues Gallery Discord, we were just chatting about a week ago, just a bunch of old games, and L5R came up, and we just chatted about L5R for a little bit. And the more I think about it, the more Flesh and Blood reminds me of L5R, which is another very restrictive game where you have your generic cards, but you have your faction cards, your clan cards, right? And you can kind of mix and match a little bit if I remember right, but you generally don't. I don't know. It just reminds me a little bit of that. But yeah, so I can understand where Elliot's kind of coming from. Personally, I just was, when I was into it, I was just into like playing all the stuff for Flesh and Blood, but it's like unattainable. It's like, it's so expensive and the pull rates are brutal, and like you have to spend so much money to get everything now. So yeah, it is what it is.
Absolutely.
But like I mentioned before, like I'm not selling my stuff out. I'm probably gonna sell some stuff. I don't need, like I've already sold some of it. I don't need 12 what do you call it? Enlightened strikes. Like no. I'll just have my three enlightened strikes. Yeah. So I'm gonna cut down quite a bit. I've an absurd amount of Flesh and Blood stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to seem too like negative, because I was like, going into this, I was like, we should have like a nice joyous one. But I'll be honest, I've been very, very much enjoying making content for the games that I make content for in the last couple months. I've been having a ton of fun, and it's been just a great time. And my channel's doing better than ever. The channel's growing more than ever. Gundam in particular has been pretty good, but all the games that I've been doing have been pretty good. I've done an official collaboration with Ultraman, which is a giant Japanese IP. We're going to be potentially doing more. I was invited to the Gundam World, like Bandai personally invited me to the Gundam World Premiere event. So I'm very like, I've really found myself, or found my spot in the TCG space. I'm still kind of like doing this variety thing, but it's very much like anime style variety stuff. And it's not hinged on only Bandai games, only Bushiroad games like a lot of other channels. I've kind of set my horizons a little bit broader, but I've genuinely been enjoying it. So, and it's like mentioned, I don't know how much As kept in the start, but it's opened up a lot of opportunities for me. Last year, I was able to fly to Japan twice. Not on my dime. They invited me to Japan twice. I casted 2 World Championship events, but not for Flesh and Blood. And I don't know if I'm already, it's already been announced that I'm casting Shadowverse World Champs again this year. And it was the other things announced? I don't know. I'm doing some other stuff too. I don't remember what's been announced yet. But my big takeaway is like, I've been taking a break from Flesh and Blood, and I've actually been very much as it hurts to say, I've been very much enjoying my time off, and diving in and playing these other games. So
yeah, I mean,
I did a whole. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's good, like literally everything that you've done is part of your journey to lead you to where you are right now in this moment in time. So like looking at my personal journey as well. Like I've been on YouTube now for only four or 5 years maybe. I did have a channel, a smaller channel before Go Again Gaming, which was all Magic the Gathering content. And there is actually a comment on one of my Commander gameplay videos that actually likened me to the spike feeders. So I'm going to show you that comment later, Bill, because it was me and 3 other mates sat round a table playing Commander with like slight editing, and we had like a really really bad sort of overhang camera facing down, and it was really ad hoc. And someone commented saying, "I like your vibe. You remind me of the spike feeders." And I was like, "Oh, who are they? Who are they then?" I had to go check you out. Nice. But yeah, so that was. Yeah, exactly.
I've been doing it this is my 9th year. Red Zone Rogue 9th year. Next year is my 10th.
Yeah.
10th year. Gonna do something cool for that. But yeah.
Yeah. So what I was getting at with that whole thing was like the journey on YouTube and content creation. Basically, what I viewed it as now, because I've landed pretty much the job of my dreams now, because I've like throughout my entire professional career, I've always been in sales and account management. That's just what I've been good at, what I've been doing. But to marry that with sales and account management for a company that makes games is just like, yeah, that's where I'm meant to be. And I like to think of the fact that I've manifested this moment. I've brung this moment upon myself from all of the work that I've done by putting myself in a content creation, TCG, gaming sphere, and all the people that I've met, all the connections I've made. Putting yourself in those positions will make you just available to open those doors when they become available to you. And it's similar to you, Kel. You've put yourself in that position, grinding it out for God knows how long, so that when those opportunities arise, your passion shines through and you get the opportunities to continue and better yourself in life. So
yeah, I mean, last year I've talked about this on my own channel, but last year was in a lot of ways like a lot of like multiple dream come truths. Like at the time, like getting invited to do the World Championship casting for a game that I love in literally Akihabara, Tokyo, and then I got invited back to Japan like a second time, and like I did multiple, like I said, casting and World Championships, and it's pretty cliche, but like hard work pays off.
Yeah.
And I'm also the kind of person where like if something is not enjoyable, or if it feels like my feelings are making it toxic, which I already went on my rant about all the things that I don't agree with for Flesh and Blood now. It's one of the reasons I took a step back. Like I don't like those feelings, and so I don't want to have those feelings. Yeah. And so I take a step back, and I don't want to have that kind of like toxic mindset about stuff. And so, yeah. I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably play some Flesh and Blood at some point, but not right now. Not right now. Yeah. And the fact that all 3 of us kind of landed on it in different ways at the same time is kind of wild, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just like it's just one of those things that was, I think it was building up to us, for a while, with how busy we were all getting, like in our own in our own lives, whether that's card game related or just life or profession related or other hobby related outside of the thing that was preventing us from playing Fab or engaging with it to the degree that we might want to do so to continue a podcast to a valuable level. It's just one of those things that's built up. I don't know about your experience, Bill, but do you feel like as a result of all your time you spent in Flesh and Blood, coming into it, and now potentially coming out of it for a while, doing coming out of Magic, going back into Magic with the spike feeders and stuff that you're doing in and outside of your life now, do you feel like you're in a better place as a result of this journey as well?
Oh yeah, I'm not like worse off because of Flesh and Blood in any way. I think
sure.
the experiences that I had, even though I wasn't able to go to as many like large scale events as I would have liked to, I still look back super fondly on the trip to Barcelona. It was like pretty surreal. Like just being somebody who and shout out Ian from Ireland. He is like just a stand-up guy, and that was like maybe one of the most impactful interactions I've had with somebody in a long time. Because I think I mentioned it at some point in one of the other episodes, but I had been in the hall for all of like 5 minutes, and Ian walks up and is like, "Hey, are you Bill from the Spike Feeders?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." And he's like, "Cool, you're the reason that I play Flesh and Blood, and I'm playing the main event this weekend." I'm like, "That's the craziest thing anybody could have said to me."
Here's another thing, Bill. Here's another thing, Bill. He's casting a Battle Hardened this weekend. He's casting a Battle Hardened in Barcelona. So you're the inception of his journey to a certain degree, and now he's casting a Battle Hardened event this weekend.
I want to say something super pig-headed, like, well, I mean, if it wasn't for me, then, but no, like it is so surreal to be the person that that I don't know, that people looked to for content, that like inspired people to make their own content. Even
you're a conduit. You're a conduit to that.
Yeah. Like obviously, I'm trying not to pat myself on the back like really at all here. I'm just saying like it is impactful to me, and I do feel it.
Well, I'll do it for you then. I'll pat you on the back now and say you've done a great job, lovely old job. There we go.
I do appreciate it, and I appreciate every one of you, every single person that has tuned in to listen to us talk.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't go unappreciated. The people that listen to us every day, the comments that we get that interact with what we're saying, and just with us as people, it's all greatly appreciated. And it's just been a phenomenal experience. There was actually Jim said something to me sort of off the cuff a little while ago that he does miss editing Flesh and Blood content. Because I think largely it is a lot easier to edit than Magic, especially 4-player Magic content.
Oh yeah.
Like he was getting to the point where he could like beginning to end edit a gameplay video in like an afternoon. Like it was great content, and I liked making it. Shout out to Jay for and Kaylee for being great guests to play like the Goliath Gauntlet series with. But yeah, it became exceptionally tough when because originally there were about 5 of us that were interested in Flesh and Blood at the Spike Feeders. It was myself, it was Elliot, Jan, Alex, and Jim. They kind of dropped off a little bit early, but myself, Elliot, and Jan actually played like quite a bit. There were multiple armories that we would go to where we would be in like the top 4. One thing or another, Jan had a second kid and just does not have time to play like things. He also like moved across the city, so he would have had to drive like 30 or 45 minutes to get to these events anyway. I don't know if those are his reasons, but that like is what sort of what I figure. I ended up buying his collection and everything. And then, Elliot, like I said, just sort of like a waning interest in the game and, the Living Legend system. So being like the last person in the group to have any sort of like drive or motivation to make the content did just become a little bit difficult. Obviously, like I do want to again shout out Jay and Kaylee. They did say multiple times like if you need help with organizing gameplay, if you need help with like figuring out deck lists and stuff like that, they are more than willing to help. And I'd like super appreciate them for that. I don't know if either of them are going to listen to this, but Jay might. I think he said he's about 5 episodes behind. He's been listening to us the whole time, so he's in
for a downward turn.
But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's a confluence of things. The original question was, do I feel worse off or do I feel like I've gained something? And I think that I absolutely have. I think that the friendships that I've made, the experiences that I had playing the game, being able to help with like my local community I'm not as active in the local community as I used to be, but back when I was a lot more liberal with my credit card and buying like boxes and boxes and boxes and being the person that people came to for singles, like it was pretty frequent that somebody would be like, hey, I need this card. And I'm like, yeah, I got you. I got a play set and it's got your name on it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Especially like our local game stores started dropping off on like singles sales. I think there was only really one store that was doing sales of Flesh and Blood singles, maybe two. But their stock wasn't very great because we didn't trade in a bunch of cards. Buying off of TCG Player while you're in Canada sucks. It is like actually an abysmal experience. They're so much more expensive. The stock is so much less. TCG Player as a Canadian is not very good. It wasn't a very valid option for a lot of us. I did appreciate being able to like help to bolster the community in whatever way I could. I don't like want to say that I was the reason for any of this because I don't think that's true. Like there are so many really important and valid players in the local scene that just create like they foster such an amazing community. And shout out to each and every one of them. But yeah, I think that Flesh and Blood was largely a very good experience, and I think it still has the potential to be. Maybe when life gets a little bit less hectic and a little less full. But yeah, I have no, like I said, I have no bad blood with respect to Flesh and Blood.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel the same way, including the bad blood part. Even though I don't know how LSS feels about me being so critical. But, the way I see it is, if you have critiques on a thing, then you should vocalize them. I've always been 100% honest, sure. both positive and, for negatives for everything that I do. It's just generally for me speaking, if I'm not enjoying something, I don't want to cover it on my channel because I'd rather talk about things that I like than things that I don't like.
Yep.
I'm not treating this as me leaving Flesh and Blood, by the way. I'm continuing the path that I'm already on is just continuing. So I'm still going to be on hiatus. I still might cover it eventually. I recently did a whole like video talking about the top 20 TCGs that I'm keeping an eye on this year. And I put Flesh and Blood on the list. I put it in what I call category 3. So category for one for me is games that I'm actively playing right now. They're my main games. I'm generally very involved in them. Category 2 are games that I'm 100% going to be covering it to some degree because I'm really interested in them, like the Godzilla card game. I'm probably not going to have it a main game, but I want to play the Godzilla card game. I fucking love Godzilla, so I'm gonna play it to some degree. And then category 3 is like stuff that I'm like, I might, depending on how I feel, I might. And Flesh and Blood I put at the top of my category 3. I'm like, I might do it. I don't know. We'll see. If I'm enjoying it, the way it boils down, if I enjoy it, yeah, I'll do it. If I get excited about it or whatever, I'll do a thing. And I can definitely see myself being like, whenever they put out like, oh, here's an Arachne Armory deck. And even though I'm probably like, this is too expensive, I might buy it and be like, hey, who wants to play like an Armory battle or something, like an Armory deck sealed game, like stuff like that might happen. I even considered, this comes back to the stupid Blitz decks being in like $50 products. I was like, I kind of want to buy like just the Arachne Blitz deck, like the new Arachne Blitz deck, and then just kind of find someone to play like some Blitz deck games just because I want to play with the new Arachne, but like not anything else. But I was like, I don't want to buy this thing for $50. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can find the deck somewhere. Someone's probably like chopping up the product and selling it, but I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, because
I'll just wait. I'll just wait, man.
Because that Arachne deck has the mentor in it, the new one.
Has a mentor in it, yeah.
So that's
yeah. We never even talked about the set. We didn't talk about. Hey, if you want to know my opinions on the set, I think the set's actually pretty cool. If I wasn't like just kind of generally not enjoying Flesh and Blood right now, I'd probably be really into this. Really into the set. It's pretty cool. I think it's a really cool design. Even if there is a lot of, there's an $80.
There's a lot of push stuff in
generic Majestic. The prices are kind of wild. In fact, actually, this was actually kind of hard to find. I don't know if I've heard rumblings of like print runs being smaller or something, but I checked out a couple of my regular places. Forge and Fire, which was their old like Flesh and Blood sponsor, they didn't have any of this at all. They just weren't selling the set at all. And I know Jim from Fab TCG Cards also was not selling any hunted. So it was actually a lot harder set for me to find than normal. I still find, I just bought it off of TCG Player, but it was a little surprising where it used to be like abundant. It's not still not difficult, but not the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Interesting. And like, it's definitely a game that I'm obviously keeping an eye on as well. And following a lot of the news, for better or for worse, as mentioned earlier, about the
rule sharking,
missed triggers,
all that sort of stuff. Yeah, but
missing triggers to your own benefit. Yeah,
but I mean that's like that's stuff that's way above the fucks I give about the game. Right? I don't care. I don't play the game to try and win money. I'm just there to play and enjoy it where possible. And when that's
because you have integrity. You have integrity.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I guess I do. But yeah, I'm just there to have fun and enjoy the character that I'm playing, which most of the time is Azalea.
I await the Pleasant Kenobi video where he goes over all of the rule sharkers in Flesh and Blood. He's done it for Magic multiple times. He just uploaded one for Lorcana, which is almost the exact same kind of situation. Well, not really for the Lorcana one, but I await the video, the Pleasant Kenobi video where he drags them all out. We'll see how that goes. I'm just gonna sit back and wait for that one.
Yeah, I think he mentioned on socials at some point that he might be at Pro Tour London, so I think he might be going to that. So I might be able to catch up with him there. That'll be good because I'm still gonna go to that because that's just literally down the road from me. So I might as well just turn up to that. So my sort of involvement now going forward on my own personal stuff will be I'm still going to be hosting League That Means Nothings because that just resonates with a lot of people. So I'll still be able to organize those tournaments, edit them. Probably not to the same degree. I'm probably not going to edit 15 games on each round. I'm probably going to do maybe 5 games on each round rather than trying to cram in as many as possible. So I'm still going to do those. So League That Means Nothing 4 will happen, that's for sure. League That Means Nothing 3 is still going on right now. Shout out to Ian Holland, who obviously Bill knows from the Irish crew, who is now doing the Battle Hardened casting. So he's had a lot of practice with the League That Means Nothing.
I think I sold him a rare playmat, actually. I sold him my Mount Heroic playmat, I think.
That makes sense. Yeah, he's a Runeblade stan. So that definitely makes sense. He's got a tattoo of a rune chant on his arm and Rosetta, I think.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, that's it.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
definitely
again, that's some dedication. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, he's great.
Very much so.
Yeah, I met up with him in Prague and Osaka for multiple drinks, and London will have multiple drinks as well. But yeah, so on my side of things, the League That Means Nothing will still continue, and I still will capture the travel vlogs of places I go where I have fun, which is normally Flesh and Blood related. If it's like a trip there, normally I'll do that. Normally I've tried to go to each Worlds, but depending on where it is, I don't know whether that's going to happen anymore. I'm not sure because I'm still in. For people that have been listening to the podcast for a while, I'm still in my mum's house saving to buy my own place. That's something that has gone by the wayside, but to a certain degree, because I've gone gallivanting to foreign countries, and my girlfriend's like, "What the fuck are you doing? why are you going to all these places?" I'm like, "I'm trying to build my YouTube. I'm trying to be out there."
That's an appropriate. Hey man, that's an appropriate response for her. I'm gonna be on her side.
Exactly. So that's another thing that life. You have to evaluate what you're actually doing, what your path is, and going to these events just for the crack, just for the chaos is probably not the best thing to do all the time.
Shit's expensive, man.
It is expensive. Yeah. Exactly. I
only give myself like 1 or 2 for fun events for the entire year. Everything else is like I'm working it, right?
Yeah.
Like Japan and Anime Expo last year were all like working events. My for fun event was the Gundam world premiere in Houston because I was invited by Bandai, but they didn't pay for anyone's flights or board.
No.
They did give us a free dinner and they did give us the product and a bunch of cool shit. Actually, they gave us like a sweet bomber jacket and the ammo crate and a bunch of awesome, cool like stuff and a playmat that I could probably sell to make up my money. People were wanting $500 for that playmat, which I have not sold.
Yeah.
But hey man, Gundam people like Gundam, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my like on my own dime kind of thing, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be really good for the channel. Literally, Bandai sent me a personal invite, so
nice.
Yeah, I think I'm frozen now.
Yeah, you.
Damn it.
Well, I can still. Can you? There we go. We're getting you back.
I think so.
Are we back? I don't know.
I think so.
It's funny because can you hear him back? Can you hear him, Cal? Bill.
Yeah, I can hear him just fine. Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
there we go. This is gonna be funny.
Well,
this is funny though because the video version is pure lagged out.
Am I still lagged out?
We can all hear you, but you're like this, like going really in slow motion.
Oh shit! it's probably like trying to catch up. Wait till I like sit back, because at some point I just sit back when I realize I'm frozen.
Oh,
well, anyway, I was just saying the Gundam thing was my once per year, so I understand that. I only budget myself like one kind of like for fun event, and this year I don't know what it's gonna be. It might be Gen Con. It might be Anime Expo. I don't know yet. I also might get invited to those events, like as a guest, like I was for AX last year, since I literally work with Bushiroad now as a Shadowverse ambassador. So I don't know, but I understand.
So
but yeah, it's shit's expensive. Like yeah,
if you're at Gen Con, there's a chance that I will be there working it. I'll be working the Steamforge Games booth. So it's going to be.
If I'm there, I will be at the Bushiroad booth, probably doing gunslinging with players. But if AX was any indication, I also get some free time to do stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I'll probably be doing a vlog too, because that's what I did last time. I did a vlog for them, and I also did the gunslinging, which was a lot of fun. Interacting with the community was a blast. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Well, your visuals are still trying to catch up.
Hold on.
Here we go.
Hold on. Turn off the camera.
Turn it off and turn it back on again.
Camera.
There we go. That's all we needed to do the whole time. It wouldn't be a Living Legends podcast episode without a few minor technical difficulties, and we're signing off in style as we as our internet dies.
It's thematic.
Yeah.
It's thematic.
So I was like,
Really
thinking,
is.
like, man, we should just should just be any other episode, right? It's just
Literally
the same stuff. We were gonna, hey, just so you know what you're missing, we were gonna do like a top 5. That's what we had planned.
We did
as the next one. We're gonna do our top 5, but it makes it kind of go on hiatus now since both. Oh my god, did I freeze again? Motherfucker.
Oh my god, that's brilliant. That is all of this is staying in. That is fantastic. What a great way. The connection is dying, as is the podcast. There we go. Lovely old job.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
That's funny.
I was saying something along the line. I forgot actually, but it was something like, I don't know. Never mind. I forgot. It was like a thing about how like it made a lot of sense that we're ending the podcast now because Bill and I probably were both not paying attention to what cards were even in the set. So I imagine both of us would just have to like go through. Or maybe did you do a podcast recently going over it?
Shout out, did a podcast with Tommy Fresh. It is a 5.5 hour video of us doing our card by card analysis of the Hunted, which was extremely fun. Like I have no issues with the game at all. Also, Tommy is such a bro. Like shout out, big shout out, Tommy Fresh and Bud's podcast. But realistically, like I don't know if I could name 5 cards from the set, let alone pick my top 5.
I can name some cards. There's like
Ignite.
the assassin chest, like the assassin ninja chest that gives you resources. That I was like, that one seems kind of cool. There's a bunch of the ones that like do damage, like they make your dagger do damage when they hit, like backstab or stab them in the back or whatever the hell they call it.
Pay in the backside.
Yeah. What else? There's the 90. I've mentioned a couple times. There's the $90 D-React.
Shout from the storm.
What else?
Yeah.
That has Diamamata's OC on it.
Literally, yeah.
But not really, but actually. Actually.
That is funny how that turned out.
Bro, okay. All right. I'm my last bone to pick for Flesh and Blood. How the fuck did they not give Steven that as a spoiler card? Like, actually, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like actually though, like it's a pirate lady. It looks like just like his original character, and he's like the pirate guy. And like they gave him like a random, I don't know, like majestic for like a warrior, an assassin or something. I don't remember what it was. I did watch this video, but I don't remember. But I'm just like, that video, that card was spoiled, and I'm like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah.
Like, is the person like doing the spoilers now just don't know who the content creators are? Like,
the guy.
They just give him a random.
Yeah, I mean
that is the biggest tragedy of the set for me. Yeah. Maybe it's just because Steven's a friend, but I'm gonna say it even if he's not gonna say it. Like, what the hell?
That's funny.
Yeah.
I think maybe they knew about my one though, because mine was called Sound the Alarm, and they know that I don't get up because I'm too pissed to go to the event the next day. So like, they need to wake Az up, wake him up, sound the alarm.
I mean, sure. Or they just be like, yeah, he's loud. Here you go.
There you go. Bloody hell.
Sound the alarm.
But I think that's pretty much summing up the episode. I'm going to shout out a few podcasts that you should go and check out though, because
go check out M&R podcast. And then you need to check out the what do we call it? Unlimited edition podcast for the players.
Mm-hmm.
And then you should go check out. The joke is that those don't exist anymore.
Yeah. Roger's got his own thing going on now, so go and check Roger that. I think it's called
Roger that.
We spoke about it last time, actually.
Actually, a very good name.
Yeah.
A very good name.
It's very good.
However, I thought of a better one. I was going to tweet this at him or post it at him, whatever. What do they call whatever the Blue Sky equivalent is? He wants to do it about Star Wars Unlimited, and I was like, you should have just called it Roger, because that's what the
Roger.
That's what the Roger. That's what the dudes say.
Trade Federation robots. Yeah. I remember them. Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah. So you already mentioned one, so I've got a little list here. So General Bromance, Intelligence, and Shit Talk. I would recommend going to listen to Flesh and Pod. So I met Logan and Derek. Derek for the first time in Prague, but I met Logan before in Hartford, where we stayed out until 4 a.m. drinking. He's like one of the only people that can go toe to toe, if not more, with me in drinking capacities. So Flesh and Pod, great podcast. For interviews and community guests, I put Fresh and Buds on here, which is Bill has already mentioned, because he likes to get on a lot of different types of people, from sort of professional players to casters and other creators like Bill, and I've been on there, Kel's been on there. So it's like a great podcast, and he's approaching.
Have I?
Yeah, you've been on there in the early days, very, very early days, yeah.
Okay.
Before there were video versions, because me and Tommy started content around about the same time, actually, May 2021, before Tales of Aria came out. He started. So yeah, known him for ages, great guy, and obviously Bill talks to him every set until now. I don't know what's going to happen now, but there we go. So yeah, Fresh and Buds, great channel, and he is. I'm not sure whether he's hit 1,000 yet, but he was very close to doing so. So if you like just general podcast and you haven't checked it out, go and check him out, because he's nearly at 1,000, which would be good for him to get that. Interviews and community guests. I've also got Push the Point on here, so they're UK based. I have to shout out a UK based channel. They get on a lot of the European top players like Pablo Pintor, Daniel Correas, all the sick people from Europe that are putting up results. They got a lot of deck techs and stuff on there, so definitely go and check them out. Also, another category, strategy and improvement. I would just say, because I used to listen to these on and off, and that's Arsenal Pass, just a classic podcasts that are just great at just breaking down all of the strategy, and whether that's sealed or constructed or whatever format you like, they're there for it. And then another great podcast that's cropped up recently. This is for the diversity and inclusion segment. That's Pitch Perfect. They're a fantastic podcast that focus on sort of gender minorities and women and lots of other stuff in the scene that need to have lights shined on them more. Definitely appreciate that podcast as well. But I'm not sure if I've mentioned everything. I might have missed out one of your favourites in the comments. But can you think of anything else maybe worth chucking out there as a podcast or an audio listen? Can't think of any off the top of my head. They're the notes that I made.
For podcasts, I'm not certain. I do want to shout out Three Floating. They're just great guys. I got to meet them in Barcelona. We actually played I think one of our group games when we were doing Team Blitz.
Oh, that's right.
We played against them. Yeah, and it was great. They're really, really nice. They make great content. So definitely check them out if you're looking for gameplay content.
I actually met them when I did the last Flesh and Blood casting gig that I did, which was 2023 U.S. Nationals. I met them at that event, so that was they seem pretty chill guys. And they said a little pat on my own back again. Well, not again, but like Bill had. They said that I was one of the reasons that they got into Flesh and Blood, and they used to actually link my channel in all of their videos. I don't think they do so anymore, which I don't take that as a slight. Like I said, I haven't uploaded a Flesh and Blood video in like half a year, so I get it. But they used to link my video or my channel and Toying Community College, I think. But they're cool guys. I also would. I mean, I think they're the premier. I mean, I'll be honest. I think they're the premier like gameplay channel for the game.
100%.
So I think if you're into Flesh and Blood at all, you should probably be subscribed to them. And then you should also be subscribed to another friend of mine, DM Ramada, who I would also consider like the premier Flesh and Blood channel. Yep. So like if you're like sub to Three Floating and then DM Ramada, I think you've got a lot of like the video content down, like for Flesh and Blood.
Yeah. I like how you shouted out Free Floating as well, Bill, because your content was very much in real life. I'm playing against my opponent on the same table, but with different camera angles and top downs and stuff. And that is definitely a good place. People know who Free Floating are now. They're massive now. So the channel. Oddly enough, their channel size isn't actually that big, and they don't have a ton of views. But I think they'll get there eventually. Yeah. And they have like crazy guests. Like they've had Jimmy and Josh from the Command Zone. They've had just a bunch of people. Becca Scott recently as well.
Okay.
So which is great for the game, because that's what it's all about now, is growing it and getting the optics out there and stuff. All the legacy content creators, like, we've been around for ages now. We're not really growing the game. We're more sort of, to a certain degree, retaining it or sustaining it. Or we was until we stopped.
We've been here.
We've been here for a while, and it's time to pass on to Fresh Blood, or Flesh and Blood, I should say. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, I guess, for the podcast. At least you might see some stuff from us. Well, I mean, as I said for myself, I'm still going to continue with the projects that I have in the pipeline. But yeah, it's a shame really, because we've had a lot of good times of it. But I just think there's better content out there, and obviously all of our times have come to an end for whatever reason.
We had the best content. I don't know. I'm not going to take this slander. We had the best Flesh and Blood content.
The best Flesh and Blood, deep strategy, and yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I will say though, like, my favorite part about Flesh and Blood in the last, like, I don't know, year plus was just doing the podcast with you guys.
Same.
So I will just say that. and I will miss it for sure. And if you guys ever want to talk, we can hang out. We can play the Elden Ring game that's coming out. Anyone want to squad drop some Elden Ring night Rain, whatever it's called?
We still have to meet up at some event, the three of us, because it is like as in Kel got to meet up, and then as in I got to meet up. I have never gotten to hang out with Kel, and the three of us have never been in the same room together. So like at some point we still got to do that. Like
Imagine that. Like we take a hiatus for ages, and then suddenly we come out with a new episode, and all of us in the same room. What the hell?
Like, we're not deleting the channel, so I don't know. Maybe someday.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
That's
we'll see what happens.
It's all open ended right now. Obviously, we are going on a hiatus, but we're not saying, we're not ever going to play Flesh and Blood again. That's not the case. That's not the way. That's not how we're leaving things. We're leaving things on a good note.
No, I do want to say I have a feeling that when we do meet up, all three of us, it won't be because of Flesh and Blood. It'll probably be for something else random or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta convince Bill's brother Jim to have us on the Spike Feeders. That's what we gotta do. We gotta convince Jim. Hey, I was recently on Covert Go Blue on 2 episodes, so you can be like, and I've been on Tolarian Community College, so I have that. I have that magic crossover thing.
Yeah, easy. Yeah. It's more trying to convince Jim to get me on, who's just a fucking bloke with a mullet who likes to drink beer.
Hey, that's
Jim
what
also
you
likes
say.
to drink beer.
Oh, that's what you say.
Let's go. Oh, there we go. But yeah. So we'll go around the table one last time and just shout out where people can find us on the platforms where we are most active now, and go from there. So Bill, where can people find you going forward?
I'm mostly active on Blue Sky. I've actually been getting like a lot of followers on Blue Sky. I suspect I got added to some sort of like magic content creator list. I don't post super frequently, but when I do post, it's on Blue Sky now. You can find me at bill.spikefeeders.com. The last couple posts that I've done, I've been showing off my builds in the Bazaar because I've been playing a lot of the Bazaar. It is like currently my hyperfixation. The game is really fun. It's in closed beta still, but it's a good time.
The Bazaar, I also play the Bazaar, and I also watch like Bazaar content, specifically Northern Lion, but the Bazaar changes so often that it's just kind of like, it's kind of wild. Like things change so much.
It's a little hard to keep up with some things. Like there's actually going to be a patch tomorrow, big patch tomorrow. I'm excited to see what they do. I've been playing a lot of Dooley for any of our Bazaar gamers.
You dirty Dooley player.
I'm a dirty Dooley player.
Nerf the robot.
I've been playing Armadillo. I've been playing Power Drill. I call it Armadrillo. But I'm up to this stat will mean nothing to anybody except for people that play the game itself. But I have, as of this afternoon, 28 10 pieces. 13 of them have been in ranked, and 15 are casual. My favorite thus far is I have one where I screenshot all of the runs that I get 10 wins in just for like posterity. And this one, I used double whammy, Deadly Pigs Gym to give crit, and then a Diamond Phonograph to reduce the cooldown of the double whammy. And I named it Pigs, Big Bonk Gym, and Dance Hall. But yeah, it's for the people that know, they know. For the people that don't know, I recommend checking out Northern Lion. His content is very fun, is what I'll say.
NL has been
I don't want to be a type A chatter.
And NL has been my favorite streamer since he first played Dark Souls when I was in college, like 20 years ago, or 10, 15 plus years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I've been watching NL for a very long time.
He's phenomenal. He's a lot of fun. He's sold me on a bunch of like indie games. Like I was playing Diceomancer for a while because he did. That game was really cool. But yeah, if you're interested in the Bazaar, check out Northern Lion. Check out Retromation. He posts a video every single day at my lunchtime. So when I go for lunch at work, I sit down with my lunch and I watch Retromation every time. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. If you're interested in checking out my Bazaar builds or to see what I'm doing for Magic related stuff, you can find me on Blue Sky. You can also find me on the Spike Feeders, where mostly do casual gameplay. We also do CEDH gameplay. I am mostly in the sort of casual and pre-con games. But yeah, that's a really long-winded way of saying that's where you can find me, and that's what I've been up to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go on, Cal. You're next. You can where can people find you, and what have you been doing recently? There we go.
Okay. Hello, I'm Cal. You can find me at Red Zone Rogue on YouTube. That's where I do most of my stuff, though I have been trying to branch out a little bit into Blue Sky. I've been growing my audience a little bit. I'm almost up to 500 followers on there, but it's nothing compared to my current like Twitter or X or whatever. I would like to get it to that point, which is almost 5,000. So I don't feel as incentivized to use Twitter. Though I've found, as much as I don't like a lot of things about Twitter, it is a good it's a good networking tool, and that's kind of what I use it a lot for. But anyway, you can find me on YouTube. I do 3 videos to 4 videos every week. I aim to do at least one Gundam, Grand Archive, and Shadowverse Evolve video every single week. That's kind of my goal for this year, plus an extra. And the extra could be anything from Cardfight Vanguard, which is another game that I've been very, very much getting into, to stuff like the Ultraman card game, Godzilla, just whatever else is interesting. Sometimes it could be a board game review. I reviewed a fantastic board game from an indie developer called React: The Arts of War. So that kind of stuff can fit into there. So if you mostly like anime style TCGs, then yeah, come follow me over on Red Zone Rogue. I talk a lot about card games and just love card games through my life. I do casting and all that kind of good stuff, and I'll be doing vlogs of Japan and all that good stuff, and might do some Gunpla streams. Definitely playing Shadowverse Worlds Beyond when that comes out. So I have a lot of stuff for the channel. Very busy. And then you can follow me on socials if you just want me to see other crap that I post. Oh, one thing I do want to mention, if you are into any of these games that I mentioned at all, and you're like, hey, I don't have a locals for it, we do one thing that I wanted to do this year that I kind of set out for some goals for myself. I'm a very goal oriented person, and I don't mind taking small steps to reach the goals that I wanted to. One of them was just kind of like foster better community and help grow the community and have it be more together. And so what I did is we launched webcam locals on the Rogues Gallery Discord. So every Saturday at 3 p.m. PST, we have the Rogues Gallery webcam locals. And basically, it's kind of like an open free play. Just hop on the Discord, just be like, hey, who wants to play this game? And then hopefully you'll find some matches. I try to show up as much as I can. We've already played some multiplayer Shadowverse, which is Glory Finder, played Vanguard last week. And it's just a great way to play some games if you don't have a local scene for them, with a really fun and welcoming community. The only rule is you can't be a dickhead. That's it. So if you're chill,
solid,
come hang out with some other chill people, and everyone's cool. If you're new to the game, everyone's really helpful. I've had people who are like, oh, I need to learn Grand Archive, I need to learn Shadowverse, and there's people who are like, I will teach you. If I'm available, I will teach you. So, yep, lots of card game stuff. That's what I'm doing. Yep.
Good. Nice.
That's it. Yeah. How about you, Az?
Sick. Yeah. So I'm Az from Go Again Gaming. So my channel will still be active to a certain degree, because I'll still be doing the League That Means Nothing content. That's probably the only content I'll be doing on there, flesh and blood related. But I'll still be going to events, still be capturing fun times, but just doing it, not pressuring myself to do it anymore. And the League That Means Nothing stuff will probably be more focused on the matches that are in the higher bracket of the table or whatever. We'll see what happens with that, but that's still going to be a thing. But as I briefly mentioned as well, so I now work for Steam Forged Games. So we do a plethora of different products and stuff. So if you're a retailer, or if you stock any sort of board games or into miniatures games or anything, and you might want to check out our range, then by all means just reach out to me. So I'm on Twitter, I'm on Blue Sky, and still on YouTube, but under Go Again Gaming. But just let me know if you want to check out anything. But apart from that, that is pretty much it, really. We've been doing this for 1 hour and 26 minutes. This is a longer one. Our podcasts have been getting shorter and shorter, but as soon as we have nothing to talk about, as standard procedure, it goes on for longer.
It's kind of like this episode's kind of like just everything else, I guess. You know,
pretty much.
Lay it all out a little bit. I've been a lot more loose. Also, I just drank the whole thing, so
Oh yeah, I finished mine in the first 5 minutes.
I paced it a little bit.
Yeah, nice.
So I still have some Canada Dry, but if I drink this, I'm just gonna have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I will drink it. I'm not gonna leave it, of course, but yeah.
But that's it. Well, yeah. So all the listeners out there that listen to us for God knows how long, thanks very much for being here for this long. It means a lot to us. Everyone that's written a comment or sent an email.
We've been chatting so much shit. I forgot to say that. I wanted to thank everyone for watching us and supporting us for so long.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for a year, two. No, we're on season 3, and I did season by year. So this is our third. This would be our 3rd year doing it. So
3 years.
Yeah, for everyone who's watched, we have the regular commenters, and you know who you are. Thank you so much for the support. It really means a lot. Whether you watch for Flesh and Blood or just watched us because you liked our bullshit. Really appreciate you. So, if you want to, the good news is, the bad news is that we're the podcast is basically on hiatus, and we'll call it indefinite hiatus. But the good news is all 3 of us are still on the internet, and if you'd like to go hear our crap, we all have channels to go do that. So, go follow us if you want to hear more of our crap, because that's still going to be a thing.
Yeah, we're all still active, or plan to be active, just in a different regard. So we've all covered how that would be anyway. So yeah, that definitely makes sense. If you want to hear more crap, then go over to our respective channels and check it out. But also, I want to thank all the guests that we've had on as well. So all the LSS employees that came on to the Living Legends podcast, whether that was on your original channel or our new one. We had obviously James White come on. We had Brian multiple times. We had Josh Scott. We had a load of different LSS. We had Alan as well.
Alan, Ian,
Sam Yang.
Sam Yang. Yep, that was a really good one.
Chris Bewley back in the old days.
Yep, Chris Bewley. Yeah, we had a good chunk of folks from LSS here on the channel. Yeah.
So shout out to them as well for taking the time to come on to our podcast. It's a shame that it's come to this, but life is just busy. We are all doing other things and progressing our lives in different ways, and there's just not much time for it right now. So we'll see if and when we come back to it in the future. But if there's any more Ranger stuff coming out, I'm definitely going to be picking it up, and then I'll be using it against you if I'm ever at an event playing a game, etc. And actually, you probably will see me play games in the league. So I'm probably gonna, as an editor, creator, initiator of this league. I was gonna do some casting as well. I've done a few bits of casting on the league, but I'm probably gonna try and play in my own league anyway, just because it's a nice way to try and get some games in. So you might see some gameplay with Azalea on the same channel. But apart from that, that is pretty much it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Don't know how else
once again.
to end it. Yeah.
That's it.
Once again, thanks everybody for listening, and stay well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye,
Why is my camera now? It didn't like the hand motions. Now the camera's like,
oh.
My lights are on, but it's dark as fuck.
I think I don't know.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
That's that.
Cool. I think that was really good.
Yeah, I think so.
It was just chatting. Everybody got sort of to say their piece.